Hello and welcome to another episode of today's GK. I am Pooja Devedi, and in this segment we bring to you objective questions to help you crack prelims. So let's begin with the practice question of the last segment. Consider the following statements regarding the 𝐃𝐫𝐤𝐬𝐻 butterfly. 𝐃𝐫𝐤𝐻 literally means Emperor of India. 𝐃𝐫𝐤𝐻 in brackets Ctenopalpus imperialis. This butterfly is only found in India along the eastern Himalayas at the elevation from 6,000 to 10,000 feet. It has been declared as the state butterfly of Arunachal Pradesh, so we have to select the correct statement. The first statement is correct, that 𝐃𝐫𝐤𝐻 literally means Emperor of India, but this butterfly is not only found in India, it also is found across Myanmar, Bhutan, Nepal. So the second statement becomes incorrect as there is the usage of the word only. It has been declared as the state butterfly of Arunachal Pradesh. This is correct. So the correct answer to this question is option C, 1 and 3 only. Recently, the state cabinet headed by the Chief Minister of Arunachal Pradesh approved the large, brightly colored 𝐃𝐫𝐤𝐻 as the state butterfly. This butterfly has a wingspan of from 90 to 120 mm and it is found in 6 states along the eastern Himalayas at elevations from 6,000 to 10,000 feet in well-wooded terrain. The butterfly also flutters in Nepal, Bhutan, Myanmar, Laos, Vietnam and southern China. Moving on, consider the following statements. Education is part of the state list. Provisions related to education can be found in part 3 of the Constitution. We have to select the correct statement. Both the statements are incorrect because education is a part of the concurrent list and second is also incorrect. The correct answer to this question is option D. Recently, the Union government has conducted the National Achievement Survey across India, assessing about 38 lakh students from 1.23 lakh schools in 733 districts in 36 states and union territories. The 42nd Amendment to the Constitution in 1976 moved education from the state to the concurrent list. The 86th Amendment in 2002 made education an enforceable right under Article 21A. However, Part 4 of the Indian Constitution, Article 45 and Article 39F of Directive Principles of State Policy has a provision for state-funded as well as equitable and accessible education. The fundamental duties were increased to 11 by the 86th Amendment in 2002, which added a duty on every parent or guardian to ensure that their child was provided opportunities for education between the ages of 6 and 14 years. Moving on, consider the following statements. The 2021 edition of SITMEX exercise is being hosted by RSN, Singapore. The exercise is being conducted as a non-contact at sea only exercise in the view of the COVID-19 restrictions. SITMEX is being conducted annually since 2019. So we have to select the correct statement. The third statement is correct, that SITMEX is being conducted annually since 2019 and the 2021 edition of the SITMEX exercise is being held in Andaman and Nicobar and not Singapore. Third is correct, first is not. Second is also correct. The correct answer is option B. Indian Navy ship or Indian Naval ship Karmuk, INS Karmuk, which is an indigenously built missile corvette, is participating in the third edition of India, Singapore and Thailand Trilateral Maritime Exercise SITMEX 21. SITMEX is being conducted annually since 2019 with an aim to enhance mutual interoperability and imbibing best practices between Indian Navy, Republic of Singapore Navy and Royal Thai Navy. Moving on, the 2021 edition of the exercise is being hosted by RTN in Andaman Sea. The exercise is being conducted as a non-contact at sea only exercise in the view of the COVID-19 restrictions, highlighting the growing synergy, coordination and cooperation in the maritime domain between the three friendly navies. Moving on, among the following countries, which one does not share a border with the Baltic Sea? Denmark, Germany, Russia, Belarus. The correct answer to this question is option D, that is Belarus. Recently, Belarusian and Russian paratroopers staged joint drills near the Polish and Lithuanian borders. Baltic Sea is an arm of the North Atlantic Ocean, extending northward from the latitude of southern Denmark almost to the Arctic Circle and separating the Scandinavian peninsula from the rest of the continental Europe. So, proceeding clockwise from the west, the countries bordering the Baltic are Denmark, Sweden, Finland, Russia, Estonia, Latvia, Lithuania, Poland and Germany. This is a map to help you for remembrance. Moving on. 𝐃𝐫𝐤𝐬𝐡𝐭𝐢 satellites has been recently in the news. Which of the following statements most appropriately describe it? So, the correct answer to this question is option D. Space rocks near the Earth's orbit that move around the Sun. Recently, scientists have observed a 𝐃𝐫𝐤𝐬𝐡𝐭𝐢 satellite named Kamo'oalewa tracking the Earth's orbit around the Sun could be fragment from the Moon. Kamo'oalewa was discovered in 2016 through the Pan-STARRS telescope in Hawaii. Now, it is a word that is a part of the Hawaiian chant and alludes to an offspring that travels on its own. It is one of the Earth's 𝐃𝐫𝐤𝐬𝐡𝐭𝐢 satellites, a space rock that orbits the Sun but remains relatively close to the planet in the case of this is about 9 million miles away. The asteroid is roughly the size of a Ferris wheel, between 150 to 190 feet in diameter. Because of this small size, the 𝐃𝐫𝐤𝐬𝐡𝐭𝐢 satellite has been difficult for scientists to study and little was known about it so far. Moving on, consider the following statements. It was in Kartarpur where the foundations of Sikhism was laid. The Kartarpur corridor connects the Darbar Sahib Gurdwara in India with the Dera Baba Nanak shrine in Pakistan. So we have to select the correct statement. The first statement is correct. It was in Kartarpur only where the foundations of Sikhism was laid. But the second is incorrect because the Kartarpur corridor connects Darbar Sahib Gurdwara, that is in Pakistan, with the Dera Baba Nanak shrine in India. So the correct answer is option A, that is one only. The government is considering reopening the Kartarpur Sahib Gurdwara corridor to Pakistan this week to allow Sikh pilgrims to cross over more than 20 months after it was shut down due to the coronavirus pandemic. According to historians, the first Sikh guru had arrived in Kartarpur between 1520 to 1522 and spent the last 18 years of his life there. It was in Kartarpur where he laid the foundations of Sikh religion. The corridor connects Darbar Sahib Gurdwara in Narowal district of Pakistan with the Dera Baba Nanak shrine in Gurdaspur district, Punjab, India. The corridor was built in 2019 to commemorate the 550th birth anniversary of Guru Nanak Dev, founder of Sikhism. Moving on, consider the following statements with respect to Purvanchal Expressway. It will run through National Highway 731. The expressway is 6-lane wide, which can be expanded to 8-lane in future, and the foundation stone of this expressway was laid in the year 2020, so we have to select the correct statement. The first statement is correct, that it will run through National Highway 731, and this expressway is 6-lane wide, which can be expanded to 8-lane in the future, if needed be. The foundation stone was laid in the year 2018 and not 2020. So the correct answer to this question is option A, 1 and 2 only. Prime Minister Narendra Modi has inaugurated Purvanchal Expressway at Karwal, Keri in Sultanpur district of Uttar Pradesh today. The Purvanchal Expressway is 341 km long. It starts from the village Chaudhsarai district, Lucknow, located on Lucknow Sultanpur Road, NH 731, and ends at village Haidiria, located on the National Highway number 31. 18 km, that is east of UP-Bihar border. Remember this for your exam. The expressway is 6-lane wide, which can be expanded to 8-lane in the future. Prime Minister Narendra Modi had laid the foundation stone of this expressway on 14 July 2018 in Azamgarh. Moving on, Aapki Banti and Mahabhoj are the two famous novels of which of the following Hindi writers? Manu Bhandari, Mahakavi Nirala, Mahadevi Verma, Harivansh Rai Bachchan. The correct answer is option A, that is Manu Bhandari. Eminent Hindi writer Manu Bhandari passed away at a private hospital in Gurugram yesterday. She was 90. She was the wife of late Hindi fiction writer Rajendra Yadav and was known for her novels Aapki Banti and Mahabhoj. Her famous novels Yahi Sach Hai was adapted into Hindi movie Rajnigandha in 1974. Moving on, Rashtra, Raksha, Samarpan, Parv will be held in which of the following states or union territories? The correct answer is option B, that is Uttar Pradesh. 3-day Rashtra Raksha Samarpan Parv will be held in Jhansi, Uttar Pradesh from 17th of this month as a part of the Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav celebration. Briefing the media in New Delhi, the Defence Secretary said that Prime Minister Narendra Modi will dedicate to the nation a number of schemes in a grand ceremony being organized in the precincts of Jhansi Fort on 19th of November. Moving on, Consider the following statements. November 16th will mark the first Audit Diwas. Audit Diwas is being celebrated to mark the historic origins of the institution of CAG. In 1860, Sir Edward Drummond was appointed as the first Auditor General. So we have to select the correct statement. All the three statements are correct. The correct answer is option D, that is all of the above. Prime Minister Narendra Modi will address the event making the first Audit Diwas at CAG office premises in New Delhi today. The Prime Minister will also unveil the statue of Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel on the occasion. Audit Diwas is being celebrated to mark the historic origins of the institution of CAG and the contributions it has made to governance, transparency and accountability over the past several years. In 1860, Sir Edward Drummond was appointed as the first Auditor General. Moving on, consider the following statements with respect to Intelligence Bureau. The Intelligence Bureau is authoritatively controlled by the Ministry of Defence. Rajiv Jain is the current Director of Intelligence Bureau. So we have to select the statement which is or are not correct. Now the Intelligence Bureau is controlled by the Ministry of Home Affairs. The first statement is incorrect. And Arvind Kumar is the current Director of Intelligence Bureau. So the correct answer to this question is option C, that is both 1 and 2. The Centre issued a notification on extension of the tenure of Defence Secretary, Home Secretary, Director of Intelligence Bureau, Secretary of Research and Analysis Wing for a period of 2 years. India's IB of Investigation is a reputed and established agency for intelligence, which is authoritatively controlled by the Ministry of Home Affairs. The Director of IB, who is a member of the Joint Intelligence Committee, is the Chief of Intelligence Bureau. The current Director of the IB is Arvind Kumar, who is serving since 26 June 2019. Moving on to the practice question for our next segment. Consider the following statements. Diabetes is a non-communicable disease that occurs either when the pancreas does not produce enough insulin. Type 1 diabetes is the most common type of diabetes. Dr. Frederick Banting won the Nobel Prize for discovering insulin. So we have to select the correct statement. I hope you'll be answering it correctly in the comment segment. That's it for today. Tomorrow we shall meet again with another segment. Until then, stay updated and thank you so much for watching.